Hey, what's going on, guys? Walla here. Today I'm going to be talking about controllers. I'm going to talk about, in my opinion, if I think they're overpowered or if they're fine. I'm going to talk about why people always have something to say when they get sniped by a controller. But before we get started, I want to ask you guys if you could please follow me on Twitch. It's free and it takes no time at all. It would really mean a lot to me. So yeah. So getting into controllers, I want to first talk about why I think it's really stupid for people to get upset about people on controllers, especially on Destiny 2. Remember, this is strictly for Destiny. I don't play any other games really nowadays, and I know a lot of people complain about controllers all over different types of FPS shooters. So I don't want to get into that because I don't want to say stuff that's not true, right? But for Destiny, for example, I know for a fact a lot of people on Destiny play on a controller. And if we were to remove all those people, we would lose a huge chunk of the player base. A lot of people go on Twitter and say, you know, imagine buying a $1,500 PC just to plug in a controller, lol, omega lol, right? Like, just a bunch of cringy stuff and all that. And in all honesty, those controller players is what's keeping the player base somewhat intact, right? Like, if we lost all the controller players on PC, it would be a disaster, in my opinion. It would be really, really bad. And some of you are going to come at me and say, well, why don't those guys just learn mouse and keyboard? There's your simple solution. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that hard, all that stuff. But in reality, a lot of these people playing on controllers have been playing on console for years and years, right? Even me, for example, I used to play on console for a very long time. The thought of mouse and keyboard was just, it was an automatic no in my head, right? Because I didn't, you know, in my head, I didn't have the time. I don't want to put in the time, all that stuff. And to be honest with you, why should people put in the time? If they don't want to, if they don't have the time, if they simply don't see it beneficial, then why should they? It's Destiny, right? Like, there's a reason why controllers supported on it. This game was made for console. To complain about controllers on a game that was made specifically for console, on top of the fact that it's not even competitive either, it's just, it blows my mind. People don't come to PC for mouse and keyboard. Yeah, that might be like the thought of it, and that's fine. To think when you hear PC, you think of mouse and keyboard, and that's good. But the reality is things have changed, man. Like as time went on, controller is a norm on PC now, and a lot of people have a really hard time accepting that for some reason. I don't know why, but it's not foreign now. It's completely normal. A lot of these games support controllers, and that's just how it's gonna be now. Okay, enough about my opinion. I know aim assist in this game is pretty strong, and before the sniper nerf recently, it was undoubtedly very strong. I do agree with that. The one thing controller has over mouse and keyboard is the ability to stay pretty consistent when hitting headshots with your sniper, or even just hitting shots in general. The reason I say this is because of the aim assist, of how sticky it is, right? When you hover over someone with your sniper rifle, if you're moving your right thumbstick around and you go over somebody, it's gonna slow down a little bit, right? And I don't want to say it's super easy to stay consistent whatsoever. Like, I'm not gonna doubt people's skills, right? People have been practicing for years on controllers and all that, but just that alone does help people stay a little bit more consistent in this game. And the reality is that's why people get upset, is because in their heads it's just a free kill, because they don't play on a controller, right? They play on mouse and keyboard, and they have this weird ego, I guess you could say. It's like, yeah, I don't need that aim assist. I'm not bad at the game, you know. That's the thing that's making you, is the aim assist. So I went into a private match and I tested out, because I do have a controller, believe it or not. I tested out how the aim assist kind of worked. I thought maybe. So in my head, I thought if a sniper was aiming down a lane and they weren't moving their analog stick whatsoever, their right analog stick, that the crosshair would actually just hover over them and like start moving, right? Like on its own, because of the aim assist. But that's not what happened at all. My crosshair, like, it's not like the aim assist like moves my scope, right? Yeah. I have to actually move my stick, and when I start moving my stick, then it starts like tracking kind of, like, it helps you. Like, it's not like it doesn't like track.
It's not aimbot, it's aim assist.
Yeah, well, like my friend just said, it's not aimbot, it's aim assist. I'm not gonna lie, when moving around next to people, like when you're using like your primary, for example, or if I'm not ADS'd close to them, it moves by itself, and it does somewhat track them. But as you could tell with the sniper, when you're ADS'd and you're not moving, the scope doesn't go just start automatically tracking them. You have to be moving your thumbstick for aim assist to actually like trigger, right? Again, it doesn't for some reason, like, if I'm moving my thumbstick around next to them, like with a primary or something, it does feel pretty strong. Again, I'm not going to deny that fact, but as you can tell with that sniper, it wasn't auto tracking, right? You still have to you have to know what you're doing. You have to be aiming somewhat towards them, and it's not as strong as I thought it was. Yes, it's still powerful, but I personally, not gonna lie, I thought the aim assist would just start tracking by itself. I didn't even think you had to do anything for it to proc, but you do, and that kind of was like something new to me. I didn't know that. There are undoubtedly times I feel like I did everything in my power to not get sniped. I crouch a bunch, I shoot them in the head, I try to flinch them, and yet I still get sniped, right? Believe it or not, sometimes you just get unlucky. The other guy gets luckier than you and he headshots you. It's just how it is, right? I do feel like sometimes when I play against certain controller players, they get like no flinch. In my head, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how did they hit that? Like, I've been shooting them, I'm jumping around like a maniac, and they still managed to headshot me, right? And I just call bullshit. But I don't usually blame it on aim assist or controller or anything. I just get unlucky, right? Whether they're playing on mouse and keyboard or not, it's just how it is. The reason for that is because people tend to forget sniping in this game is very good. Controller sniping is good, right? But sniping in general, whether you're on mouse and keyboard or not, is extremely good. You look at players like Panda or Boy, my teammate, like these guys can 1v3 carry literally against anybody. Like, it doesn't matter. That's just how powerful sniping is. And if someone's good enough, they're gonna make it seem like it's just impossible to beat them. It's just how it is. They're just that good. I have a teammate called SayWallahBruh. He's known to be the best controller sniper in the world. I want to say in Destiny, hands down, just because of how freaking like just how good he is. I've played against a lot of sniper players, a lot of controller sniper players, and no one even comes close to SayWallahBruh. Sorry, his name is Sergio, but none of them are even close. I don't even snipe, and I outsnipe them just due to the fact that no ego, but I feel like I have better aim than them, even if they're on a controller. Why? Because controller doesn't make you have good aim. It's aim assist. It's always been there, right? And they've been playing on a controller for years. They've been practicing. They know how to work it, how to really take advantage of it, and that's just how good they are. Same with mouse and keyboard players. They've been playing for years, and they have good movement. They have good aim. It's just how it is. Mouse and keyboard has the advantage when it comes to moving around and playing extremely fast, and controller has the advantage to be a little bit more consistent when it comes to hitting shots. So I want to show you an example where controller really does kind of suck, and I honestly, in my mind, controller isn't good unless you're sniping and using a last word. If you're not sniping and using a last word, I feel like controller is at a severe disadvantage. Yeah, aim assist with a primary weapon is always nice and stuff, but at the end of the day, when if you're trying to shotgun on a controller, it's undoubtedly worse, right? And I want to show you an example here where this is my good friend Rito. I'd say he's one of the best shotgunners on a controller on PC at the moment. I want to show you guys a prime example of when controller it just isn't as good, right? Literally, a play as simple as that, he couldn't do anything just due to the fact that I slid under him or like next to him, right on the side. There's just no way to react that fast just because you can't flick that fast on a controller straight up, right? It's just not possible. So we'll watch it again. All I did was slide across, and he couldn't turn fast enough. And he plays on the highest sensitivity too. It's not like he plays on like 2 cents, right? So it's just I just want to show that example. Obviously, you guys probably already knew that, you controller players, but I'm just putting that out there. This isn't the most in-depth video ever. I just wanted to really talk about it and share my opinions. I get a lot of people asking me in Twitch chat, like, aren't controllers so stupid? Like, oh my god, no skill, blah blah blah. I might say some things here and there. Honestly, I don't really talk about controller snipers that often at all, to be honest. Like, if anything, I'm complaining about the fact that they're playing on Dawnblade sniping. I'll tell them like, oh, Dawnblade sniping takes no skill. Holy shit! Like, you'll rarely ever hear me talk about aim assist controller. I just don't care. I love having people to play against, like newer players. Like when SayWallahBruh came over to PC, it was awesome having new players to come and play against and stuff. Mr. Leg, for example, he's a really good controller player too, right? Leclerc's a really good controller sniper. Like, yeah, a lot of these guys are really good at sniping and they play on a controller, but it's not like they're unbeatable or anything. And it's always like new people to play against is always really good. There's a reason why crossplay is going to come in next year, right? is because console now plays at 120 FPS, and everyone's gonna be around the same playing field, and it's gonna be really good. Yeah, they're gonna be on controller, but at the same time, I'm so excited to have new people to play against, regardless of the input device they use, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. We're all playing the same fucking game, and the advantages aren't crazy. They don't have wall hacks. They don't have aimbot, right? We're all just trying to fucking game and have fun. So I don't know. I'm really excited to start playing crossplay coming next year, personally. And that's my little rant on all those losers that cry about controllers. I honestly don't really see the big deal. Again, I only see it as a good thing that there are people playing on PC, even if they're on controller. The more people we have, the better at the end. That's what I want, and that's what everyone should want, is a bigger player base, regardless of the input device. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace. And make sure you like the video, please. I love you. Okay, bye.